The Donkey King stands as a remarkable achievement in Pakistani cinema, representing the highest-grossing animated feature film in the country's history and marking a watershed moment for the local animation industry. This Pakistani production, released in October of 2018, emerged from the creative vision of director Aziz Jindani and the technical expertise of Talisman Animation Studios, establishing itself not merely as entertainment but as a cultural phenomenon that would transcend borders and linguistic barriers to reach audiences across 13 countries worldwide. The film opens in the vibrant world of Azadnagar, a fantastical city populated entirely by anthropomorphic animals, where the social hierarchy mirrors the complexities of modern political systems. At the heart of this animated universe lives Mangu, a humble donkey whose daily existence revolves around the mundane task of washing clothes for the city's more privileged inhabitants. Voiced with remarkable authenticity by Jan Rambo, Mangu embodies the archetypal underdog, whose dreams far exceed his current circumstances, a character design choice that resonates deeply with audiences who recognize their own aspirations, reflected in his earnest desires for something greater than his predetermined station in life. The narrative architecture of The Donkey King reveals itself through careful examination of its protagonist's psychological landscape, where Mangu's consciousness is perpetually divided between the harsh realities of his present existence and the limitless possibilities that dance through his imagination. His father Changu, whose spirit continues to guide him from beyond the grave, serves as both moral compass and source of encouragement, reminding Mangu that dreams possess the power to transcend the boundaries imposed by birth circumstances and societal expectations. This supernatural element, brought to life through the masterful voice acting of Jawed Sheikh, adds layers of emotional depth to what might otherwise function as simple comedic entertainment. The political machinery of Azadnagar operates under the iron fist of King Badshah Khan, a lion whose regal bearing masks growing concerns about the future of his kingdom and the succession of power to his incompetent son, Prince Shahzada Khan. The characterization of Badshah Khan, voiced with gravitas by Ghulam Mohiuddin, presents a ruler caught between traditional monarchical structures and the mounting pressures of a populace increasingly dissatisfied with hereditary privilege. His son Shahzada, brought to life through Adil Hashmi's perfectly pitched performance, emerges as the embodiment of entitled mediocrity, spending his days absorbed in narcissistic pursuits while remaining completely disconnected from the needs and concerns of his future subject. The catalyst for transformation arrives in the form of Miss Fitna, a cunning fox whose role as senior advisor to the king conceals far more sinister motivations than her official position would suggest. Hina Dilpazer's vocal performance brings remarkable nuance to this complex antagonist, whose manipulative intelligence serves as the driving force behind the film's central conflict. Fitna represents the archetypal power broker, someone who understands that true control often lies not in holding official positions, but in influencing those who do, and her recognition of Mangu's potential as a malleable puppet sets the entire narrative machinery into motion. The introduction of democracy to Azadnagar emerges not from genuine democratic impulses but from Fitna's calculated manipulation of public sentiment and royal fears about succession. When King Badshah Khan announces his intention to pass the crown to his son, the resulting public outcry provides Fitna with the perfect opportunity to suggest an alternative that appears progressive while actually serving her hidden agenda. The concept of democratic elections in a previously monarchical society becomes a vehicle for exploring themes of political manipulation, media influence, and the vulnerability of democratic institutions to exploitation by those who understand how to game the system. Mangu's transformation from obscure laundry worker to viable political candidate occurs through a series of carefully orchestrated encounters that highlight both his inherent goodness and his accidental meeting with Prince Shahzada, during which he successfully convinces the prince that a hole burned in his royal garments represents cutting-edge fashion, demonstrates both his quick thinking and his ability to find positive interpretations for potentially disastrous situations. This scene establishes Mangu's character as someone who possesses natural charisma and problem-solving abilities, even if he lacks awareness of their potential applications in larger context. The election campaign that follows serves as the film's most direct engagement with contemporary political satire, offering commentary on media manipulation, populist appeals, and the theatrical nature of modern democratic processes. The competition between Mangu and Prince Shahzada unfolds through various public forums, including press conferences, debates, and even rap battles, each providing opportunities for the film to skewer different aspects of political theater while showcasing the voice actors' comedic timing and the animators' technical prowess in creating dynamic, engaging visual scenes. The animation quality of The Donkey King represents a significant leap forward for Pakistani cinema. Utilizing Autodesk Maya software and Fox Render Farm rendering technology to create visuals that meet international standards while maintaining distinctly local character designs and cultural references. The anthropomorphic animal characters move with fluid naturalism that brings their personalities to life through subtle facial expressions, exaggerated body language, and carefully crafted visual comedy that works across cultural and linguistic boundaries. The technical achievement becomes even more impressive when considered within the context of Pakistan's developing animation industry and the limited resources available compared to major international studios. Talisman Animation Studios, founded by director Aziz Jindani in 2016, specifically to realize his vision for The Donkey King, represents a success story of entrepreneurial creativity and technical innovation within Pakistan's entertainment sector. Jindani's background in creating the Commander Safeguard animated series provided the foundation for understanding both the technical requirements and market potential for original animated content, while his 15-year development process for The Donkey King demonstrates the persistence and vision necessary to bring ambitious creative projects to fruition in challenging economic environments. The voice cast assembled for The Donkey King brings together some of Pakistan's most recognizable entertainment personalities, creating an ensemble performance that elevates the material through their collective expertise and individual charisma. Jan Rambo's portrayal of Mangu captures both the character's inherent optimism and his gradual awakening to the responsibilities that accompany power, while Haina Dilpazar's Miss Fitna emerges as a memorably manipulative antagonist whose schemes drive the narrative forward with relentless energy. The supporting performances from Ismail Tara, Ghulam Mohiuddin, and Shafa'at Ali create a rich tapestry of character voices that populate Azad Nagar with distinctive personalities. The film's political satire extends beyond generic commentary to include specific references to contemporary figures and events, most notably through the character of Ronald Crump, a hippopotamus whose resemblance to certain international political figures serves as both comedic device and pointed social commentary. These references, while potentially dating the film to its specific historical moment, also demonstrate the creator's willingness to engage with current events and their confidence that audiences would appreciate sophisticated political humor alongside the more universal themes of personal growth and social responsibility. Mangu's victory in the election, achieved through an inspirational speech that connects with the hearts of Azadnagar's animal citizens, represents both the triumph of authentic communication over polished political rhetoric and the dangerous appeal of charismatic leadership, divorced from actual governing experience. The film's exploration of what happens after the election victory provides its most substantive political commentary, as Mangu's rapid transformation from humble public servant to luxury-loving ruler illustrates how power can corrupt even the most well-intentioned individuals when proper support systems and accountability measures are absent. The revelation of Miss Fitna's true agenda shifts the narrative from political satire into adventure territory, as her secret alliance with human circus operators introduces an external threat that requires Mangu to rediscover his moral center and embrace the leadership role he initially accepted for personal glory. This plot development, while providing necessary dramatic tension for the film's climactic sequences, also serves as commentary on how foreign interests can exploit domestic political divisions and the importance of national unity in the face of external threats to sovereignty and freedom. The circus subplot introduces themes of exploitation and commodification that resonate with historical and contemporary concerns about the human circus master's desire to capture and display Azadnagar's animals represents a form of cultural and literal colonization that strips agency from the indigenous population while reducing them to entertainment objects for foreign consumption. Fitna's willingness to collaborate in this exploitation for personal gain marks her as not merely a domestic political manipulator, but as someone willing to betray her own species and community. Mangu's accidental discovery of the imprisoned animals serves as his moment of moral awakening, forcing him to confront the consequences of his neglect of leadership responsibilities and the way his pursuit of personal luxury has left his community vulnerable to exploitation. This realization catalyzes his character development from naive dreamer through corrupted leader to genuinely committed protector of his people, completing a character arc that provides both entertainment value and meaningful lessons about the nature of authentic leadership and civic responsibility. The technical aspects of the film's action sequences demonstrate the animation team's growing confidence and capability, as chase scenes, fight sequences, and the climactic confrontation with Miss Fitna showcase dynamic camera work, fluid character animation, and effective use of environmental storytelling. The decision to render these sequences with heightened energy and exaggerated physics serves both the comedic tone and the adventure elements, while maintaining visual consistency with the film's overall aesthetic approach. The musical elements of The Donkey King, particularly the infectious Donkey Raja theme song, contribute significantly to the film's cultural impact and commercial success. The soundtrack, featuring compositions by Shua Haider and performances by various Pakistani artists, creates memorable musical moments that support character development and narrative progression while providing standalone entertainment value. The Donkey Raja track's popularity, evidenced by over 100 million YouTube streams, demonstrates the power of well-crafted musical content to extend a film's cultural reach beyond its theatrical release. The film's approach to humor operates on multiple levels, providing physical comedy and slapstick elements that appeal to younger audiences while incorporating sophisticated wordplay, cultural references, and political satire that engage adult viewers. This multi-layered approach to comedy writing reflects the creators' understanding of their diverse target audience and their commitment to creating content that functions as genuine family entertainment rather than chill. The character design choices throughout The Donkey King reflect careful consideration of both visual appeal and symbolic meaning, as each animal species carries cultural associations that inform audience perceptions of their personalities and roles within the narrative. The decision to make the ruling class consist primarily of large predatory animals, while the working class includes herbivores and smaller species, creates clear visual metaphors for power relationships while avoiding explicit political messaging that might alienate certain audience segments. The film's treatment of class consciousness and social mobility presents optimistic messaging about the possibility of individual advancement through hard work and moral character, while simultaneously acknowledging the structural inequalities that make such advancement exceptional rather than routine. Mangu's rise from laundry worker to king represents both inspirational fantasy and social commentary, suggesting that merit-based leadership is possible. The international success of The Donkey King, including theatrical releases in South Korea, Spain, Russia, Turkey, China, and multiple South American countries, validates the universal appeal of well-crafted animated storytelling while demonstrating the potential for Pakistani cultural products to compete in global markets. The film's adaptation into 10 different languages required not only technical dubbing work but cultural sensitivity to ensure that humor, character relationships, and thematic content translated effectively across linguistic and cultural boundaries. The production timeline for The Donkey King, spanning from initial concept in 2003 through theatrical release in 2018, illustrates both the long-term vision required for ambitious creative projects and the practical challenges of developing original animated content within resource-constrained environments. Director Aziz Jindani's persistence through 15 years of development, including 5 years of active production, demonstrates the commitment necessary to realize complex creative visions while building the technical infrastructure to support future projects. The film's box office performance, ultimately grossing over 24 crore rupees domestically and an additional 20 crore internationally, established new benchmarks for Pakistani animated cinema, while proving the commercial viability of locally produced content that reflects indigenous cultural values and storytelling traditions. These financial achievements provided validation for investors and creators while demonstrating audience appetite for high-quality domestic animation that could compete with international production. The controversy surrounding The Donkey King's political content, including legal challenges and debates about its satirical targets, reflects the film's success in creating meaningful social commentary that resonated with contemporary political discourse. The dismissal of attempts to ban the film validated both artistic freedom principles and the creator's right to engage in political satire, while the ongoing discussions about the film's allegorical meanings demonstrated its effectiveness in provoking thoughtful public discourse about governance, democracy, and social responsibility. The technical innovation represented by The Donkey King extends beyond its visual achievements to include breakthroughs in local capacity building, as the production process required training Pakistani artists and technicians in advanced animation techniques, while developing workflows and quality standards that could support future productions. This capacity-building aspect represents a significant but often overlooked contribution to Pakistan's creative economy. The film's approach to environmental storytelling through the detailed design of Azadnagar creates a believable fantasy world that supports both comedic and dramatic narrative elements, while providing visual richness that rewards multiple viewings. The attention to architectural details, urban planning, and the integration of animal-specific design elements demonstrates the creative team's commitment to world building that serves both as the character of Changu, Mangu's deceased father, who appears as a guiding spirit throughout the film, represents one of the more sophisticated elements of the storytelling, providing both emotional depth and moral guidance, while avoiding heavy-handed preaching about proper behavior and ethical choices. Jawad Sheikh's vocal performance brings warmth and wisdom to this supernatural character, creating a presence that feels genuinely paternal rather than artificially inserted for moral instruction. The educational value embedded within the Donkey King's entertainment framework includes lessons about civic engagement, the importance of staying true to one's values under pressure, the dangers of corruption and the abuse of power, and the necessity of remaining connected to community needs even when elevated to positions of authority. These messages emerge organically from the narrative rather than being imposed through didactic speeches, allowing audiences to absorb important lessons while enjoying the story. The film's production design successfully creates visual distinction between different social classes and political factions while maintaining aesthetic coherence throughout the fantasy world of Azadnagar. The contrast between the working-class neighborhoods where Mangu begins his journey and the opulent palace environments where he ends up as king provides visual storytelling that supports the narrative themes without requiring extensive exposition or dialogue. The success of The Donkey King in establishing Talisman Animation Studios as a viable competitor in regional and international markets demonstrates the potential for emerging creative industries to develop competitive advantages through focused investment in talent development and technical infrastructure. The studio's subsequent projects and partnerships validate the business model while providing career opportunities for Pakistani artists and technicians within the group. The film's treatment of media manipulation and propaganda techniques provides relevant commentary on contemporary information warfare and the challenges facing democratic institutions in the digital age. Ms. Fitna's coordination with news outlets and her strategic use of reverse psychology demonstrate sophisticated understanding of how public opinion can be shaped through selective presentation of informational manipulation techniques. The climactic confrontation between Mangu and Ms. Fitna, culminating in her apparent death after falling from a cliff into the sea, provides satisfying narrative resolution while avoiding graphic violence that might disturb younger audiences. The choreographed action sequence showcases the animation team's technical capabilities, while delivering the dramatic payoff that the story's conflict structure demands. The reconciliation between the various animal factions following Ms. Fitna's defeat and the revelation of her treacherous plans provides thematic resolution that emphasizes unity, forgiveness, and the importance of working together to overcome external threats to community welfare. This resolution avoids simplistic good versus evil frameworks, while acknowledging that genuine leadership requires building coalitions and healing division. The final departure of Changu's spirit, satisfied that his son has achieved his dreams and learned to accept genuine responsibility, provides emotional closure for Mangu's character development, while suggesting that personal growth requires eventually moving beyond dependence on parental guidance to embrace independent, moral judgment and decision-making capabilities. The Donkey King represents a significant cultural achievement that transcends its entertainment value to function as a celebration of Pakistani creative capabilities, a demonstration of the universal appeal of well-crafted storytelling, and a contribution to global conversations about democracy, leadership, and social responsibility. Its success validates the potential for emerging creative industries to compete in international markets while maintaining distinctive cultural identity and local growth. The film's legacy extends beyond its immediate commercial and critical success to include its role in inspiring subsequent Pakistani animation projects. Its contribution to building technical expertise and creative confidence within the local industry, and its demonstration that animated content can effectively engage with serious social and political themes while remaining accessible to diverse audiences across age groups and cultural backgrounds. The enduring popularity of The Donkey King, evidenced by its continued streaming success and international distribution, suggests that audiences recognize and appreciate authentic storytelling that combines entertainment value with meaningful social commentary, technical excellence with cultural specificity, and universal themes with local insight. The film stands as proof that creative vision, technical skill, and cultural authenticity can combine to create works that resonate far beyond their origins while maintaining their distinctive identity and values. Through its comprehensive exploration of political satire, social commentary, technical innovation, and universal themes of personal growth and civic responsibility, The Donkey King establishes itself as more than entertainment, functioning as a cultural artifact that captures the hopes, concerns, and creative capabilities of Pakistani society, while speaking to global audiences about the challenges and possibilities inherent in democratic governance and individual. Its success represents both achievement and inspiration, demonstrating what becomes possible when creative vision aligns with technical capability and cultural authenticity to produce work that honors its origins while reaching toward universal human experiences and values. The broader cultural impact of animated storytelling extends far beyond individual production achievements, representing a fundamental shift in how societies conceptualize. Animation as an art form possesses unique capabilities for transcending linguistic barriers, while simultaneously preserving cultural specificity through visual symbolism, character design, and thematic content that resonates with particular communities while remaining accessible to global audiences seeking authentic cultural experiences. The technological infrastructure supporting contemporary animation production requires substantial investment in both hardware. The democratization of animation technology through affordable software packages and cloud computing resources has enabled smaller studios and independent creators to compete with larger production houses, though the learning curve for mastering these tools remains steep and requires sustained commitment to skill development. Educational institutions play a crucial role in developing the next generation of animation professionals, though many traditional academic programs struggle to keep pace with industry demands for specific technical skills and creative problem-solving abilities. The gap between academic theory and practical application often leaves graduates unprepared for the collaborative nature of commercial animation production, where artistic vision must balance with technical constraints. The globalization of entertainment markets has created both opportunities and challenges for regional animation industries, as local creators must navigate between maintaining cultural authenticity and achieving international appeal. This tension manifests in various ways, from character design choices that must communicate across cultural boundaries to storytelling approaches that honor local traditions, while engaging universally. Voice acting represents a specialized skill set within animation production that requires performers to convey character personalities and emotions through vocal performance alone, without the benefit of physical presence or facial expressions. The development of voice acting talent requires extensive training in vocal projection, character differentiation, and the ability to maintain consistent character voices across long recording sessions. The economic model for animation production presents unique challenges compared to live-action entertainment, as the lengthy production timelines and substantial upfront investment required for quality animation must be balanced against uncertain market reception and competition from international productions with larger budgets and established distribution networks. Financing animation projects often requires innovative approaches to funding that may include pre-sales to international distributors. Sound design and musical composition contribute significantly to animation effectiveness, as these audio elements must compensate for the stylized visual representation inherent in animated characters and environments. The integration of sound effects, musical scores, and ambient audio creates the emotional atmosphere that guides audience engagement while supporting character development and narrative progression through carefully crafted auditory experiences. The environmental sustainability of animation production has become an increasingly important consideration as the industry grapples with the energy consumption associated with rendering complex visual sequences and maintaining the computing infrastructure necessary for modern animation workflows. Studios are beginning to implement green production practices that reduce energy usage while maintaining quality standards. Though these efforts require ongoing investment and international collaboration in animation production often involves complex logistical coordination across multiple time zones and cultural contexts, as projects may involve artists, voice actors, and technical specialists working from different countries while maintaining creative coherence and quality standards. These collaborative relationships require sophisticated project management systems and cultural sensitivity to ensure effective communication and shared understanding. The preservation of traditional animation techniques alongside digital innovation represents an ongoing challenge for the industry, as hand-drawn animation skills and craftsmanship approaches risk being lost as production workflows increasingly rely on computer-generated imagery and digital effects. Audience research and market analysis play increasingly important roles in animation development, as creators seek to understand demographic preferences and cultural trends that influence content consumption patterns. However, the balance between market-driven content decisions and artistic integrity remains a source of ongoing tension within the industry, as commercial considerations may conflict with creative vision and cultural authenticity. The emergence of streaming platforms has fundamentally altered distribution models for animated content, creating new opportunities for niche productions and international content, while also intensifying competition for audience attention. These platforms require different content strategies compared to traditional theatrical releases, with implications for story structure, episode length, and production budgets that affect creative decision-making. Merchandising and licensing opportunities represent significant revenue streams for successful animated properties, though developing these ancillary markets requires additional investment in character design, brand development, and marketing initiatives that extend far beyond the original production budget. The potential for merchandise sales and licensing deals often influences character design and story development decisions during the early stages of project development. The psychological impact of animated content on audience development, particularly among younger viewers, has led to increased scrutiny of content messaging and the responsibility of creators to promote positive social values while avoiding harmful stereotypes or inappropriate material. This responsibility requires ongoing education for animation professionals regarding child development, cultural sensitivity, and ethical storytelling. Technical innovation in animation continues to evolve rapidly, with advances in artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and real-time rendering technologies creating new possibilities for interactive and immersive animated experiences. These technological developments require ongoing investment in research and development while presenting creative opportunities that challenge traditional assumptions about animation. The documentation and archival preservation of animation production materials represents an important but often overlooked aspect of industry development, as concept art, storyboards, and production notes provide valuable historical records of creative processes while serving as educational resources for future generations of animators. The digital nature of much contemporary animation work creates both opportunities. Quality control and review processes in animation production require sophisticated systems for managing feedback and revisions across multiple departments and creative stakeholders, as changes to character animation, visual effects, or story elements can have cascading effects throughout the production pipeline. These review systems must balance creative flexibility with production efficiency, while the cultural representation and diversity within animated content reflects broader social conversations about inclusion and authentic storytelling. As animation creators grapple with questions about who tells which stories and how to respectfully represent communities and experiences beyond their own direct knowledge, these considerations affect casting decisions, story development, and visual design. The therapeutic and educational applications of animation extend beyond entertainment into healthcare, education, and social services, where animated content serves as a tool for communication, therapy, and learning support. These specialized applications require different approaches to content development and often involve collaboration with subject matter experts from various professional fields. The evolution of animation aesthetics reflects changing cultural preferences and technological capabilities as visual styles cycle through periods of realistic representation, stylized interpretation, and experimental approaches that challenge conventional assumptions about animated character, design, and environmental representation. These aesthetic trends influence audience expectations while providing creative opportunities for the International Festival Circuit for Animated Content provides important opportunities for recognition, networking, and cultural exchange among animation professionals worldwide. Though participation in these events requires significant investment in submission fees, travel expenses, and promotional materials that may be challenging for smaller studios and independent creators to afford. The translation and localization of animated content for international markets involves complex decisions about voice casting, cultural adaptation, and visual modifications that may be necessary to ensure content appropriateness and market appeal across different cultural contexts. These localization processes require cultural expertise and sensitivity to avoid misunderstandings or offensive content while maintaining the original creative intent. The environmental and social themes increasingly prevalent in contemporary animated content reflect growing awareness of global challenges and the potential for entertainment media to contribute to public education and social change. These thematic considerations affect story development and character creation, while requiring creators to balance entertainment value with meaningful social messaging. The emergence of virtual production techniques in animation, incorporating real-time rendering and motion capture technologies, represents a significant shift in production methodologies that requires new skill sets and technical infrastructure while offering opportunities for more efficient and flexible creative workflows. These technological advances blur the boundaries between animation and live-action production, while creating new possibilities for hybrid production approaches. The archival and restoration of historic animated content requires specialized technical expertise and significant financial investment, as older animation materials may exist in deteriorating physical formats that require careful preservation work to maintain access for future generations. These preservation efforts contribute to cultural heritage while providing educational resources for understanding animation history and technique development. The collaborative relationships between animation studios and academic institutions create opportunities for research, talent development, and innovation while providing students with practical experience and industry connections. These partnerships require ongoing coordination and mutual understanding of academic and commercial objectives, while contributing to the overall development of animation industry capabilities. The contemporary landscape of digital creativity encompasses far more than traditional entertainment applications, extending into educational technology, where animated demonstrations and interactive learning modules transform complex academic concepts into accessible visual experiences. Universities and corporate training centers increasingly rely on animated content to explain scientific principles, historical events, and the emergence of artificial intelligence as a creative tool rather than mere automation represents a fundamental shift in how digital artists approach their craft, with machine learning algorithms now capable of generating preliminary concept art, suggesting color palettes, and even creating rough animation sequences based on written descriptions. These technological developments challenge traditional assumptions about creative authorship while offering unprecedented opportunities for rapid prototyping and iterative design processes that can dramatically reduce development timelines. The sustainability movement within digital creative industries has prompted significant changes in production methodologies as studios implement energy-efficient rendering workflows, adopt remote collaboration tools to reduce travel requirements. These environmental considerations increasingly influence business decisions and creative choices, with some studios specifically promoting their carbon-neutral production processes as competitive advantages in environmentally conscious markets. Educational institutions worldwide have begun integrating animation and digital media literacy into curricula across diverse academic disciplines, recognizing that visual communication skills. Medical schools use animated models to teach anatomy. Engineering programs employ simulation software for structural analysis, and business schools incorporate data visualization techniques to enhance analytical thinking and presentation capabilities. The therapeutic applications of animation extend into mental health treatment, where animated characters serve as intermediaries for individuals who struggle with direct human interaction, particularly in part of cerebral society and trauma. These specialized applications require collaboration between creative professionals and licensed therapists to ensure content appropriateness while maintaining therapeutic effectiveness through carefully designed interaction patterns and visual aesthetics. Virtual reality technology has created entirely new categories of creative expression as artists explore spatial storytelling techniques that surround. These virtual experiences require fundamental reconceptualization of narrative structure, visual composition, and audience engagement, challenging creators to develop intuitive navigation systems while maintaining artistic coherence across multiple viewing perspectives and interaction possibilities. The democratization of professional-level animation tools through cloud computing and subscription software models has enabled independent creators to produce content that rivals studio productions in technical quality, though success still requires substantial investment in skill development, creative vision, and marketing expertise. This accessibility has fostered vibrant communities of independent creators who collaborate across geographical boundaries while maintaining creative and corporate communications increasingly rely on animated content for internal training, customer onboarding, and product demonstrations, recognizing that visual storytelling can convey complex information more effectively than traditional text-based materials. These business applications require different creative approaches than entertainment, emphasizing clarity, efficiency, and measurable learning outcomes. The integration of augmented reality features into everyday applications has created demand for animators who understand how digital elements interact with real-world environments, requiring expertise in spatial tracking, lighting integration, and user interface design that functions across diverse physical contexts. These technical challenges demand interdisciplinary knowledge, combining artistic sensibility with engineering precision. And the preservation of cultural heritage through digital animation projects represents an important but often overlooked application of creative technology, as museums, archaeological institutions, and cultural organizations commission animated reconstructions of historical sites, traditional practices, and extinct ecosystems. These projects require extensive research, cultural sensitivity, and collaboration with subject matter experts. The gaming industry continues to push technical boundaries for real-time animation, developing sophisticated systems for character expression, environmental interaction, and physics simulation that must respond instantaneously to player actions while maintaining visual consistency and performance optimization across diverse hardware platforms. These technical achievements often influence animation standards in other industries as technologies mature and become more accessible. The rise of short-form video content on social media platforms has created new creative constraints and opportunities, as animators develop techniques for capturing attention within extremely limited timeframes while conveying meaningful messages or entertainment value. These constraints encourage innovative approaches to visual storytelling that emphasize immediate impact, memorable imagery, and shareable content designed for viral distribution patterns. The intersection of animation with data visualization has created specialized career paths for professionals who can transform complex datasets into comprehensible visual narratives, supporting decision-making processes in scientific research, business intelligence, and public policy development. These applications require understanding of statistical principles, human perception psychology, and design principles that ensure accurate interpretation. The development of industry standards for accessibility in animated content addresses the needs of viewers with disabilities, incorporating features such as audio descriptions, closed captioning, and visual design considerations for color blindness and visual impairments. These accessibility requirements influence creative decisions throughout production processes while expanding potential audiences and demonstrating social responsibility commitment. The emergence of blockchain technology and digital asset ownership has created new economic models for animated content, as creators explore opportunities for direct audience monetization through token sales, limited edition digital collectibles, and decentralized distribution platforms that bypass traditional entertainment industry gatekeepers. These technological developments require understanding of cryptocurrency, systems, smart contracts, and community building strategies alongside traditional. The globalization of creative talent through remote collaboration platforms has enabled studios to access specialized skills regardless of geographical location, creating opportunities for artists in developing regions while challenging established creative centers to maintain competitive advantages through infrastructure, networking, and cultural resources. These shifts in industry geography affect career planning, educational priorities, and regional economic development. The evolution of hardware technology, particularly graphics processing units and display technologies, continues to expand creative possibilities while requiring ongoing investment in equipment upgrades and technical training. These technological cycles create both opportunities for enhanced creative expression and challenges for maintaining current capabilities in rapidly evolving technical environments that demand continuous. The interdisciplinary nature of contemporary animation production requires collaboration among artists, programmers, musicians, writers, and business professionals, creating complex project management challenges that demand effective communication systems, shared creative vision, and collaborative workflows that accommodate diverse working styles and expertise. The intellectual property landscape surrounding animated content has become increasingly complex as creators navigate copyright, trademark, and licensing considerations across multiple international jurisdictions, while protecting their creative assets and respecting existing intellectual property rights. These legal considerations affect creative decisions, distribution strategies, and revenue models, while requiring ongoing education of evolving legal framework. The environmental impact of digital content creation extends beyond energy consumption to include electronic waste management, as hardware upgrades and equipment replacement generate significant quantities of specialized electronic components requiring proper disposal and recycling. These environmental considerations increasingly influence purchasing decisions, equipment lifecycle planning, and corporate sustainability reporting within creative industry. The psychological effects of prolonged exposure to animated content, particularly among developing audiences, have prompted research into optimal content consumption patterns, screen time recommendations, and design principles that promote healthy media relationships. These research findings influence content rating systems, parental guidance recommendations, and educational initiatives promoting media literacy and balanced technology use. The integration of biometric feedback systems into interactive animated experiences enables real-time adaptation to viewer emotional responses, heart rate changes, and attention patterns, creating personalized content experiences that adjust pacing, intensity, and narrative elements based on individual physiological reactions. These technologies raise privacy concerns while offering unprecedented opportunities for responsive entertainment. The economic impact of animation industries extends far beyond direct employment to include supporting services such as equipment rental, specialized software development, education and training programs, and ancillary businesses serving creative professionals. These broader economic effects influence regional development policies, educational investment priorities, and infrastructure planning in areas seeking to attract and retain creative industry. The convergence of animation with emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence, blockchain systems, virtual reality, and Internet of Things applications creates interdisciplinary career opportunities that combine creative skills with technical expertise in rapidly evolving fields. These convergent technologies, while offering potential for innovative applications that have not yet been fully explored. The philosophical implications of artificial consciousness representation in animated content raise profound questions about the nature of identity, empathy, and human connection in an increasingly digital world. As animated characters become more sophisticated in their emotional expressions and behavioral patterns, audiences develop complex parasocial relationships that challenge The economic structures supporting independent creative content have evolved dramatically with the emergence of subscription platforms, crowdfunding mechanisms, and direct creator monetization tools that bypass traditional publishing and distribution gatekeepers. These alternative funding models enable diverse voices and experimental content while creating new pressures for continuous content production and audience engagement that can conflict with artistic integrity. The intersection of neuroscience research with entertainment technology has led to sophisticated understanding of how visual stimuli affect attention, memory formation, and emotional processing, enabling content creators to design experiences that optimize for specific psychological outcomes while raising ethical questions about manipulation versus entertainment. This research informs everything from colored choices to pacing decisions. The globalization of creative talent through digital collaboration platforms has fundamentally altered traditional geographic advantages in creative industries, as artists in remote locations can now contribute to major projects while maintaining local cost of living advantages. These shifts create opportunities for economic development in previously underserved regions, while challenging established creative centers to maintain working opportunities and specialized educational resources. The preservation of traditional artistic techniques within digital workflows represents an ongoing challenge as institutions seek to maintain cultural heritage while embracing technological innovation. Master craftspeople work alongside software developers to encode centuries of artistic knowledge into digital tools, creating hybrid approaches that honor traditional methods while leveraging context. The mental health implications of extended creative work in digital environments have prompted industry-wide discussions about workspace design, project pacing, and professional support systems that address the unique stresses of creative collaboration under tight deadlines. With evolving technical requirements, these considerations influence hiring practices, project management methodologies, and professional development programs, while contributing to broader. The emergence of procedural generation techniques in creative workflows enables artists to create vast, detailed environments and complex character variations through algorithmic systems that maintain artistic coherence while dramatically reducing manual labor requirements. These techniques require understanding of both traditional artistic principles and computational logic, creating new hybrid skill sets that combine creative intuition. The integration of biometric feedback systems into entertainment experiences allows for real-time adaptation to audience responses, creating personalized content that adjusts based on heart rate, eye tracking, and other physiological indicators. These technologies raise privacy concerns while offering unprecedented opportunities for responsive storytelling that can adapt to individual emotional states and engagement levels in real. The development of sustainable production practices within creative industries addresses environmental concerns about energy consumption, electronic waste, and carbon footprint associated with digital content creation. Studios implement renewable energy systems, optimize rendering workflows for efficiency, and develop equipment sharing programs that reduce overall industry environmental impact while maintaining creative quality and production capacity. The convergence of educational technology with entertainment content creates new categories of edutainment that must balance learning objectives with engagement factors, requiring collaboration between educators, content creators, and cognitive scientists to ensure effective knowledge transfer while maintaining audience interest. These interdisciplinary projects challenge traditional assumptions about. The evolution of accessibility standards in digital content reflects growing awareness of diverse audience needs, as creators implement features such as audio descriptions, subtitle customization, and visual design accommodations for various disabilities. These accessibility considerations influence creative decisions throughout production processes while expanding potential audiences and demonstrating commitment to inclusive design. The emergence of blockchain technology in creative industries enables new models for intellectual property management, royalty distribution, and direct creator compensation, while creating opportunities for decentralized content distribution that bypasses traditional platform gatekeepers. These technological developments require understanding of cryptocurrency systems, smart contracts, and distributed ledger technology. The psychological impact of immersive virtual environments on human behavior and perception has prompted research into optimal exposure durations, content design principles, and safety protocols that prevent negative effects while maximizing beneficial applications for education, therapy, and entertainment. These research findings inform design guidelines, industry standards, and regulatory frameworks for emerging immersive technology. The cultural implications of algorithmic content recommendation systems affect how audiences discover and engage with creative content, as machine learning systems shape exposure patterns and cultural consumption habits in ways that may reinforce existing preferences or introduce algorithmic bias. Understanding these systems becomes essential for creators seeking to reach diverse audiences while maintaining artistic integrity and cultural representation. The development of real-time collaboration tools for creative projects enables distributed teams to work together seamlessly across time zones and geographical boundaries. Though these tools require sophisticated coordination systems and communication protocols to maintain creative coherence and quality standards. These collaborative workflows influence project organization, creative decision-making, and professional relationship building increasingly distributed creative. The integration of artificial intelligence in creative workflows raises questions about authorship, originality, and creative value, as algorithms become capable of generating increasingly sophisticated content that may be indistinguishable from human-created work. These developments challenge copyright law, artistic attribution, and economic models, while creating opportunities for enhanced creative productivity and new forms of human match and collaboration. The emergence of haptic feedback technology in interactive media creates new possibilities for sensory engagement that extends beyond visual and auditory experiences, enabling creators to incorporate tactile elements into digital content through specialized hardware and software systems. These multimodal experiences require understanding of human sensory perception, hardware capabilities, and interaction design principles. The social impact of parasocial relationships between audiences and fictional characters has prompted research into the psychological benefits and risks of these connections, particularly as characters become more realistic and interactive through advancing technology. This research informs content design decisions, marketing strategies, and ethical guidelines for character development and audience engagement, while contributing to broader understanding of human social behavior in digital. The economic implications of content saturation in digital markets have led to increased emphasis on niche targeting, specialized content creation, and community-building strategies that prioritize deep engagement over broad reach. These market dynamics influence creative decision-making, project selection, and marketing approaches, while creating opportunities for specialized creators who can serve specific audience segments. The development of cross-platform content strategies requires understanding of how different devices, screen sizes, and interaction modes affect audience experience and engagement patterns. Creators must consider technical constraints, user behavior patterns, and platform-specific features while maintaining consistent artistic vision and narrative coherence across diverse distribution channels and consumption contexts. The integration of environmental storytelling techniques in digital spaces enables creators to convey narrative information and emotional atmosphere through carefully designed visual details, spatial relationships, and interactive elements that encourage exploration and discovery. These techniques require understanding of architectural principles, psychology of space, and user experience design while creating the emergence of generative art systems that combine artificial intelligence with traditional artistic principles creates new categories of creative expression that challenge conventional distinctions between human and machine creativity. These systems require collaboration between artists, programmers, and researchers, while raising philosophical questions about creativity, authorship, and the role of technology in artistic. The development of sustainable business models for independent creators navigating platform algorithm changes, audience attention fragmentation, and increasing competition requires sophisticated understanding of audience analytics, content optimization, and diversified revenue streams. These business considerations increasingly influence creative decisions as artists balance artistic integrity with commercial viability while building sustainable careers in rapid The architectural implications of virtual space design extend far beyond aesthetic considerations, encompassing psychological factors that influence how individuals navigate and interact within digital environments. Spatial designers working in virtual realms must understand principles of wayfinding, territorial behavior, and cognitive mapping to create spaces that feel intuitive and emotionally resonant, while serving functional purposes for the intersection of biotechnology and digital creativity has opened entirely new frontiers for artistic expression, as artists collaborate with scientists to visualize molecular structures, genetic sequences, and biological processes through interactive installations and generative systems. These interdisciplinary projects require understanding of both artistic principles and scientific accuracy, creating compelling visualizations that the development of haptic feedback systems in creative applications enables artists to incorporate tactile sensations into digital experiences, creating multisensory artworks that engage touch, proprioception, and kinesthetic awareness alongside traditional visual and auditory elements. These technologies require sophisticated understanding of human sensory perception, hardware capabilities, and interaction. The emergence of procedural music composition systems demonstrates how algorithmic approaches can generate complex auditory experiences that adapt to environmental conditions, user preferences, or narrative requirements in real time. These systems combine traditional music theory with computational logic, creating soundscapes that evolve dynamically while maintaining aesthetic coherence and emotional resonance. The cultural preservation applications of digital creativity extend beyond documentation to include interactive reconstructions of traditional practices, languages, and environments that enable immersive cultural education and community engagement. These projects require extensive collaboration with cultural experts, community leaders, and technical specialists to ensure accurate representation while creating engaging experiences that honor cultural heritage. The therapeutic applications of creative technology continue expanding into specialized areas such as autism therapy, trauma recovery, and cognitive rehabilitation, where carefully designed interactive experiences provide safe spaces for exploration, communication, and skill development. These applications require close collaboration between creative professionals, healthcare providers, and researchers to ensure therapy. The integration of environmental data into artistic expression creates new categories of eco-art that visualize climate change, pollution patterns, and ecosystem health through dynamic installations that respond to real-time environmental sensors. These projects combine scientific data collection with artistic interpretation, creating powerful tools for environmental awareness and advocacy, while demonstrating the development of blockchain-based creative platforms enables new models for artistic collaboration, intellectual property management, and community governance that challenge traditional institutional structures in the art world. These decentralized systems require understanding of distributed ledger technology, smart contracts, and tokenomics, while creating opportunities for more equitable participation in creative economies and cultural production. The psychological impact of immersive virtual environments on identity formation and social behavior has prompted research into optimal design principles for virtual spaces that promote positive outcomes while minimizing potential negative effects, such as addiction, disorientation, or social isolation. These research findings inform design guidelines and ethical frameworks for virtual environment creation, while contributing to greater understanding of human-computer interaction. The emergence of artificial intelligence as a collaborative creative partner rather than mere automation tool represents a fundamental shift in artistic practice, as creators develop new workflows that leverage machine learning capabilities for inspiration, iteration, and execution, while maintaining human creative agency and artistic vision. These human-machine collaborations, documentation. The integration of quantum computing principles into creative applications opens possibilities for entirely new categories of computational art that explore quantum phenomena such as superposition, entanglement, and probability distributions through interactive installations and generative systems. These experimental applications require interdisciplinary collaboration between artists, physicists, and computer scientists while pushing the boundaries The development of sustainable practices in digital creativity addresses environmental concerns about energy consumption, electronic waste, and carbon footprint while maintaining creative quality and innovation capacity. These sustainability initiatives require systematic approaches to equipment lifecycle management, energy-efficient workflows, and collaborative resource sharing that balance environmental responsibility with creative excellence. The emergence of augmented cognition technologies that enhance human creative capabilities through brain-computer interfaces, biometric feedback, and cognitive load optimization creates new possibilities for artistic expression while raising ethical questions about human enhancement and creative authenticity. These technologies require careful consideration of privacy, consent, and long-term effects while offering unprecedented opportunities. The social impact of participatory creative platforms that enable mass collaboration on artistic projects demonstrates the potential for technology to democratize creative production while creating new challenges for project coordination, quality control, and equitable participation. These collaborative platforms require sophisticated governance systems, communication tools, and incentive structures that promote inclusive participation, while the intersection of digital creativity with urban planning and architecture creates opportunities for interactive public art installations, responsive building facades, and participatory city design processes that engage citizens in shaping their built environment. The development of cross-reality experiences that seamlessly blend physical and digital elements creates new categories of mixed reality art that challenge traditional boundaries between virtual and real spaces. These hybrid experiences require sophisticated tracking systems, spatial computing, and interaction design that maintains continuity across different reality modes while providing meaningful and coherent artistic experiences. The therapeutic potential of creative artificial intelligence systems that adapt to individual emotional states and therapeutic goals opens new possibilities for personalized art therapy, creative expression support, and mental health intervention. These adaptive systems require integration of psychological assessment, machine learning, and creative algorithms while maintaining ethical standards for healthcare applications and privacy protection. The emergence of quantum art that explores quantum mechanical principles through visual, auditory, and interactive installations provides new ways to communicate complex scientific concepts while creating aesthetically compelling experiences that engage both rational understanding and intuitive appreciation. These projects require collaboration between artists and quantum physicists while making abstract scientific phenomena accessible rough sensory. The development of resilient creative infrastructure that can withstand disruptions from natural disasters, technological failures, or social upheavals ensures continuity of cultural production and preservation under challenging circumstances. These resilience planning efforts require understanding of risk assessment, backup systems, and emergency protocols, while maintaining capacity for creative innovation and cultural expression during crisis. The integration of space technology with creative applications creates opportunities for cosmic-scale artistic projects, satellite-based installations, and zero-gravity creative experiences that expand the spatial boundaries of artistic expression beyond terrestrial limitations. These space-based creative projects require understanding of orbital mechanics, space environment constraints, and international space law while creating the emergence of temporal art forms that unfold over extended time periods through algorithmic evolution, environmental response, or community interaction challenges traditional assumptions about artistic completion and viewer experience. These time-based works require sophisticated planning for maintenance, evolution, and documentation, while creating opportunities for artistic experiences that develop and change over months, years, or decades. The development of empathic computing systems that recognize and respond to human emotional states creates possibilities for emotionally responsive art installations that adapt their behavior, appearance, or sound based on viewer reactions and engagement levels. These empathic systems require understanding of emotion recognition technology, psychological principles, and interaction design while raising important questions about emotional privacy and manipulation. The intersection of digital creativity with molecular manufacturing and nanotechnology opens possibilities for artworks that manipulate matter at atomic scales. creating structures and behaviors impossible through traditional materials and methods. These nanoscale creative applications require collaboration with materials, scientists, and engineers, while pushing the boundaries of what constitutes artistic medium and creative expression. The intersection of neuroscience and architectural design through virtual reality applications has revealed profound insights into how spatial environments affect human cognition, emotion, and behavior, leading to evidence-based design principles that optimize built environments for psychological well-being and productivity. Researchers studying brain activity patterns in virtual architectural spaces discover connections between spatial geometry, lighting conditions, and neurological responses that inform healthier building design while advancing our understanding of environmental psychology and cognitive architecture. The development of collaborative virtual design environments enables distributed teams of architects, engineers. These shared virtual environments require sophisticated networking protocols, real-time rendering capabilities, and intuitive interaction systems that maintain design fidelity while supporting natural communication and collaborative modification of complex architectural elements. The integration of machine learning algorithms with environmental sensor networks creates intelligent building systems that continuously adapt spatial. These adaptive architectural systems learn from accumulated data about human preferences, usage patterns, and environmental conditions to make autonomous adjustments to lighting, temperature, acoustics, and spatial configuration, while maintaining comfort standards and minimizing resource consumption. The emergence of biomimetic design methodologies leverages computational analysis of natural structures, growth patterns, and organizational systems. These nature-inspired approaches combine parametric design tools with biological research to create buildings that demonstrate improved structural performance, environmental responsiveness, and resource utilization, while exploring aesthetic possibilities derived from organic forms and processes. The therapeutic applications of architectural virtual reality extend into healthcare environments where immersive simulations help patients with anxiety. These therapeutic virtual environments require careful attention to psychological comfort, accessibility considerations, and gradual exposure protocols while demonstrating the potential for architecture to contribute directly to health and healing outcomes. The development of sustainable material simulation systems within virtual design environments enables architects to explore the long-term performance, characteristics, environmental impact. These simulation capabilities inform material selection decisions by providing detailed projections of maintenance requirements, durability expectations, and environmental performance over extended building life cycles, while reducing the need for physical prototyping and testing. The integration of cultural heritage preservation. The integration of cultural heritage preservation. These cultural preservation projects require extensive historical research, archaeological collaboration, and community engagement while utilizing advanced photogrammetry, laser scanning, and modeling techniques to ensure accuracy and cultural sensitivity. The emergence of responsive architectural systems that adapt their configuration, appearance, and functionality based on real-time occupancy patterns. These adaptive systems integrate sensors, actuators, and control algorithms with architectural elements to create spaces that evolve continuously while maintaining structural integrity and user safety. The development of universal design principles within virtual reality environments ensures that architectural spaces accommodate users with diverse abilities, mobility requirements, and sensory characteristics. Through inclusive design tests, these accessibility-focused virtual environments enable designers to experience spaces from multiple perspectives while identifying and addressing potential barriers before construction, ultimately creating more inclusive built environments for all users. The intersection of architectural design with urban planning through large-scale virtual city modeling creates comprehensive environments for testing transportation systems, zoning decisions, and community development scenarios. These urban-scale simulations integrate multiple data sources including traffic patterns, demographic information, environmental conditions, and economic factors to evaluate the broader implications of architectural decisions within complex urban systems. The emergence of parametric design systems The emergence of parametric design systems that generate architectural solutions based on performance criteria, site conditions, and user. These algorithmic approaches combine optimization algorithms with design constraints to explore vast solution spaces, while identifying configurations that balance multiple competing objectives including energy efficiency, cost, functionality, and aesthetic appeal. The integration of real-time environmental monitoring with virtual architectural environments creates responsive simulation systems that reflect current weather conditions, seasonal changes, and environmental. These real-time simulations enable designers to understand how architectural decisions perform under actual environmental conditions, while providing clients with realistic expectations about seasonal variations and long-term building behavior. The development of modular design systems that enable rapid reconfiguration and adaptation of architectural spaces through standardized components and connection systems addresses changing user needs. These flexible architectural approaches utilize parametric design tools and manufacturing systems to create buildings that can evolve over time while maintaining structural integrity and aesthetic coherence throughout multiple configuration changes. The therapeutic potential of architectural virtual reality in treating spatial disorders, navigation difficulties, and environmental anxieties demonstrates the broader health applications of. These therapeutic applications require collaboration between architects, healthcare professionals, and technology developers to create effective treatment protocols while maintaining safety standards and therapeutic effectiveness through carefully controlled virtual experiences. The emergence of community engagement platforms that enable neighborhood residents and stakeholders to participate actively in architectural and urban planning decisions. These participatory design platforms require intuitive interfaces, multilingual support, and community outreach strategies, while providing meaningful opportunities for public input and collaborative decision-making. The integration of lifecycle assessment tools with virtual architectural design environments enables comprehensive evaluation of environmental impact, resource consumption, and sustainability performance throughout building life cycles. These integrated assessment systems provide real-time feedback about design decisions while encouraging sustainable practices through immediate visualization of environmental consequences and alternative design options. The development of artificial intelligence systems that can generate architectural designs based on natural language descriptions, performance requirements, and contextual constraints represents a significant advancement in automated design generation while raising. These AI design systems combine machine learning algorithms with architectural knowledge bases to create design proposals that satisfy complex requirements while maintaining aesthetic quality and functional performance. The emergence of cross-reality design environments that seamlessly blend physical and virtual design elements enables architects to work with physical models, virtual components, and augmented overlay. These hybrid design environments require sophisticated tracking systems, spatial registration, and interaction protocols while providing unprecedented flexibility for design exploration and collaborative development. The integration of social behavior simulation with architectural virtual environments creates dynamic spaces populated with artificial agents that demonstrate how human activities, movement patterns, and social interactions might unfold. These behavioral simulations provide valuable insights about space utilization, circulation patterns, and social dynamics, while helping designers optimize layouts for human activities and community building objectives. The development of sustainable construction simulation systems that model building processes, material flows, and construction site organization within virtual environments enables optimization of construction methodologies, while these construction-focused simulations integrate logistical planning, equipment coordination, and safety protocols while providing training opportunities and process optimization insights for construction teams. The psychological implications of immersive virtual environments extend far beyond their technical capabilities, influencing human perception, cognition. Research into presence and embodiment within virtual spaces reveals how digital environments can trigger genuine physiological responses, emotional connections, and behavioral changes that parallel those experienced in physical locations, challenging traditional assumptions about the distinction between real and simulated experiences. The emergence of biophilic design principles within virtual environments demonstrates how digital space. These nature-inspired virtual environments utilize fractal geometry, natural lighting patterns, and organic material textures to create spaces that support stress reduction, creativity enhancement, and mental restoration while exploring new possibilities for integrating natural elements into urban interior design contexts. These culturally sensitive design approaches involve extensive community consultation, anthropological research, and iterative testing to ensure that virtual spaces respect cultural values while providing meaningful experiences for diverse user populations across different geographical and ethnic contexts. The integration of physiological monitoring with virtual environment design enables real-time adaptation to user stress levels, cognitive load, and emotional states through biometric feedback systems that adjust lighting, acoustics, spatial configuration, and environmental conditions automatically. These responsive environments represent a new category of empathic architecture that anticipates and responds to human needs while learning from accumulated data about individual preferences and optimal environmental conditions for different activities and emotional states. The therapeutic applications of virtual environments in treating phobias, post-traumatic stress disorder, and anxiety disorders demonstrate the profound psychological. These clinical applications require collaboration between environmental designers, mental health professionals, and technology specialists to create controlled exposure environments that support healing while maintaining safety and therapeutic effectiveness through graduated exposure protocols and real-time monitoring capabilities. The emergence of social virtual spaces that support meaningful community interaction, collaborative work, and cultural activities challenges traditional. These virtual community environments require sophisticated understanding of proxemics, social psychology, and group dynamics to create spaces that encourage positive interaction while preventing harassment, exclusion, and other negative social behaviors through thoughtful design and community governance systems. The development of accessible virtual environments that accommodate users with diversible virtual inclusive design principles. These accessibility-focused environments incorporate features such as alternative navigation methods, customizable sensory experiences, and adaptive interfaces that ensure meaningful participation for users with visual, auditory, cognitive, or motor impairments, while demonstrating the potential for virtual spaces to be more inclusive than many physical environments. The integration of artificial intelligence with virtual environment design creates adaptive spaces that learn from user behavior patterns, preferences, and needs to optimize configuration, aesthetics, and functionality over time. These intelligent environments combine machine learning algorithms with environmental psychology research to create spaces that evolve continuously while maintaining coherence and supporting user goal. The emergence of persistent virtual worlds that maintain continuity over extended time periods enables long-term community building, collaborative projects, and social relationships that develop and evolve through sustained interaction in shared digital spaces. These persistent environments require sophisticated infrastructure, governance systems, and community management approaches that support meaningful long-term engagement, while addressing challenges related to the psychological impact of avatar embodiment in virtual environments affects self-perception, social behavior, and identity formation in ways that extend beyond virtual experiences into real-world attitudes and behaviors. Research into the Proteus effect and other embodiment phenomena reveals how virtual self-representation influences confidence, social interaction patterns, and performance in both digital and physical context, while the development of cross-cultural virtual collaboration environments that support effective teamwork across linguistic, cultural, and geographical boundaries requires understanding of communication patterns, cultural norms, and collaborative practices that vary significantly among different populations. These globally accessible environments incorporate translation systems, cultural sensitivity features, and adaptive interfaces that facilitate meaningful cross-cultural. The therapeutic potential of virtual nature experiences in urban environments demonstrates how digital representations of natural settings can provide psychological benefits for individuals with limited access to actual natural spaces. These virtual nature environments incorporate research about attention restoration theory, stress reduction mechanisms, and biophilic responses to create experiences that support mental health and cognitive performance. While the emergence of educational virtual environments that support experiential learning, skill development, and knowledge construction through immersive experiences represents a significant advancement in pedagogical approaches and learning theory application. These educational environments combine cognitive science research with instructional design principles to create spaces that optimize knowledge retention. The integration of historical reconstruction with virtual environment design enables immersive exploration of past civilizations, historical events, and cultural practices through carefully researched digital recreations that support education, cultural preservation, and historical understanding. These historical virtual environments require extensive collaboration with historical experts to ensure accuracy while creating. The development of sustainable virtual environment design practices addresses the environmental impact of digital infrastructure, energy consumption, and electronic waste associated with immersive technology systems. These sustainability initiatives incorporate life cycle assessment, renewable energy utilization, and resource optimization strategies while exploring how virtual experiences might reduce physical resource consumption. The psychological implications of extended virtual reality exposure include considerations about reality perception, social skill development, and psychological dependence that require careful monitoring and research to ensure healthy technology use. These psychological safety considerations inform usage guidelines, design standards, and therapeutic protocols while contributing to broader understanding of human-technology relationships. The emergence of artistic virtual environments that function as immersive installations, performance spaces, and creative platforms demonstrates the potential for digital spaces to serve as genuine artistic media rather than merely tools for representing existing art forms. These artistic virtual environments challenge traditional boundaries between visual art, performance, architecture, and interactive media. The development of virtual environments for scientific research and data visualization enables immersive exploration of complex datasets, molecular structures, and theoretical models that support discovery, understanding, and communication of scientific concepts. These research-focused virtual environments combine domain expertise with visualization principles to create tools that enhance scientific inquiry while making The integration of virtual environment design with urban planning processes enables community participation in city development, infrastructure planning, and public space design through accessible digital platforms that support informed decision-making and collaborative governance. These civic engagement virtual environments require understanding of public participation principles, urban systems, and democratic processes, while providing tools that enable meaningful citizen involvement in shaping their. The emergence of therapeutic virtual environments specifically designed for aging populations addresses unique needs related to cognitive health, social connection, and physical rehabilitation through carefully designed experiences that support successful aging and quality of life enhancement. These age-focused virtual environments incorporate gerontology research, accessibility principles, and intergenerational interaction opportunities while exploring the philosophical foundations of consciousness and identity in virtual environments reveal complex questions about the nature of selfhood, embodiment, and authentic experience that challenge fundamental assumptions about reality and human existence. Scholars studying virtual presence explore how immersive digital experiences affect self-perception, memory formation, and emotional authenticity, discovering that virtual experiences can create genuine psychological effects that persist beyond the digital environment and influence real-world behavior, patterns, and identity construction. The neuroplasticity implications of extended virtual reality exposure demonstrate how immersive digital environments can reshape neural pathways, sensory processing, and cognitive patterns in ways that extend the brain's natural adaptation mechanisms into digital realms. Research into virtual environment-induced neuroplasticity reveals potential applications for rehabilitation. The emergence of quantum simulation environments that model quantum mechanical phenomena through immersive virtual experiences enables researchers and students to explore subatomic behavior, quantum entanglement, and probability distributions through spatial interaction and visual representation. These quantum virtual environments require sophisticated understanding of both quantum physics and human perception to create accurate simulations. The development of empathic artificial intelligence systems within virtual environments creates responsive digital entities that can recognize, interpret, and respond appropriately to human emotional states through facial expression analysis, voice tone recognition, and behavioral pattern assessment. These empathic virtual entities represent significant advances in human-computer interaction while raising ethical questions about emotional manipulation, privacy, and the psychological effects of form. The integration of blockchain technology with virtual environment governance creates decentralized systems for community management, asset ownership, and economic activity that operate independently of traditional institutional control structures. These blockchain-governed virtual communities explore new models for digital citizenship, collective decision-making, and resource distribution, while addressing challenges related to scalability, energy consumption. The therapeutic applications of virtual environments in treating eating disorders, body dysmorphia, and other conditions related to self-image demonstrate how carefully designed digital experiences can provide safe spaces for exploring identity, practicing social interaction, and developing healthier relationships with physical appearance and social expectation. These therapeutic virtual environments require close collaboration between mental health professionals, technology developers, and patients to ensure safety and effectiveness, while maintaining patient autonomy and dignity. The emergence of collaborative scientific visualization environments enables researchers from different disciplines to explore complex data, theoretical models, and experimental results through shared virtual spaces that support real-time collaboration. These scientific virtual environments combine data visualization principles with collaborative interaction design to create tools that enhance research productivity while facilitating interdisciplinary communication and knowledge sharing across geographical and institutional boundaries. The development of culturally immersive language learning environments utilizes virtual reality to create authentic cultural contexts for language acquisition, enabling learners to practice communication. These language learning virtual environments incorporate linguistic research, cultural anthropology, and pedagogical theory to create experiences that support both language acquisition and cultural understanding through contextual learning approaches. The integration of environmental monitoring systems with virtual recreation environments creates digital nature experiences that reflect real-time ecological data, seasonal changes, and conservation status. These environmentally connected virtual spaces serve educational, therapeutic, and conservation purposes while providing accessible nature experiences for individuals with mobility limitations or geographic constraints that prevent access to natural environments. The psychological impact of virtual violence, aggression, and conflict within digital environments raises important questions about desensitization, empathy development, and the Research into virtual violence exposure examines both potential negative effects and possible therapeutic applications for controlled exposure therapy, while informing content design guidelines and age-appropriate usage recommendations for different types of virtual experiences. The emergence of virtual memorial spaces and digital commemoration environments creates new approaches to grieving, remembrance, and cultural preservation that enable persistent digital tributes, interactive memorial experiences, and virtual gathering spaces for communities processing loss and celebrating lives. These commemorative virtual environments require sensitivity to cultural mourning practices, religious considerations. The development of virtual environments for skill assessment and professional credentialing enables standardized evaluation of competencies in controlled digital settings that can simulate complex real-world scenarios without physical risk or resource requirements. These assessment-focused virtual environments incorporate psychometric principles, competency frameworks, and validation methodologies to create reliable evaluation. The integration of biofeedback systems with virtual environment adaptation creates responsive digital spaces that monitor user physiological states and adjust environmental parameters automatically to optimize comfort, performance, and therapeutic outcomes. These biofeedback integrated environments represent advances in personalized technology while raising privacy concerns about physiological monitoring. And the emergence of virtual archaeological sites that combine historical reconstruction with interactive exploration enables immersive education about past civilizations, cultural practices, and historical events through carefully researched digital recreations. These archaeological virtual environments require collaboration between historians, archaeologists, and technology specialists to ensure historical accuracy while creating engaging education. The development of virtual environments for disaster preparedness and emergency response training creates safe spaces for practicing crisis management, evacuation procedures, and emergency decision-making without physical danger or resource consumption. These emergency training virtual environments incorporate realistic stress factors, time pressures, and complex scenarios that prepare individuals and teams for effective response to the therapeutic potential of virtual environments in treating chronic pain, mobility limitations, and neurological conditions demonstrates how immersive digital experiences can provide pain distraction, motor rehabilitation support, and cognitive therapy through carefully designed interactive experiences. These medical virtual environments require collaboration between healthcare professionals, technology developers, and patients to ensure therapeutic effectiveness while maintaining safety standards. The integration of artificial intelligence with virtual environment generation enables automatic creation of diverse, complex digital spaces based on user requirements, environmental parameters, and aesthetic preferences through machine learning algorithms trained on architectural principles and user preference data. These AI-generated virtual environments represent advances in procedural design while raising questions. The emergence of virtual environments for conflict resolution and mediation provides neutral digital spaces where disputing parties can engage in structured dialogue, explore alternative perspectives, and work toward mutual understanding through facilitated virtual interaction. These conflict resolution virtual environments incorporate principles from mediation theory, psychology, and communication studies to create tools that support peaceful dispute resolution, while the development of virtual environments for corporate training and professional development enables immersive simulation of workplace scenarios, interpersonal interactions, and industry-specific challenges that support skill development without disrupting actual business operations. The integration of virtual environments with Internet of Things systems creates hybrid digital physical spaces where virtual elements respond to real-world sensor data, while virtual interactions affect physical device behavior and environmental conditions. These interconnected virtual physical systems represent advances in ubiquitous computing while creating new possibilities for seamless interaction between digital. The transformative potential of immersive educational technologies extends beyond traditional classroom applications into specialized training environments where virtual reality simulates complex professional scenarios, hazardous conditions, and rare events that would be impossible to replicate safely in physical learning environments. Medical students can perform virtual surgeries on anatomically accurate digital patients. Engineering students can disassemble complex machinery without risk of damage or injury. And history students can witness historical events firsthand through carefully reconstructed virtual experiences that bring abstract academic concepts into vivid, memorable reality. The cognitive science research underlying effective virtual reality education reveals how spatial memory, embodied learning, and multisensory engagement create more durable knowledge retention compared to traditional text-based or lecture-driven instruction methods. Studies demonstrate that students who learn through virtual reality experiences show significantly improved recall performance weeks and months after their initial exposure, suggesting that the experiential nature of virtual learning creates more robust memory, encoding, and retrieval pathways than conventional educational approaches. The accessibility implications of virtual reality in education offer unprecedented opportunities for students. Students with mobility limitations can explore archaeological sites. Students with visual impairments can experience spatial relationships through haptic feedback systems. And students with social anxiety can practice interpersonal skills in safe virtual environments that reduce real-world social pressure, while building confidence and competence. The development of adaptive virtual learning environments that respond to individual student needs, learning pace, and comprehension levels through artificial intelligence systems creates personalized educational experiences that optimize learning outcomes for diverse student populations. These intelligent tutoring systems monitor student behavior, performance, and engagement, produce difficulty levels, provide additional support, and offer alternative explanations. The cultural preservation applications of educational virtual reality enable immersive exploration of endangered languages, traditional practices, and historical sites that face threats from climate change, political instability, or urban development. Indigenous communities collaborate with educational technologists to create virtual experiences that preserve cultural knowledge while making it accessible to younger generations. The collaborative learning possibilities within shared virtual educational environments enable students from different geographical locations to work together on group projects, participate in virtual laboratory experiments, and engage in cross-cultural exchanges that broaden their perspectives while developing teamwork and communication skills. These collaborative virtual classrooms require sophisticated networking infrastructure, real-time interaction. The assessment and evaluation challenges in virtual reality education require new approaches to measuring learning outcomes, skill development, and knowledge application that go beyond traditional testing methods to include behavioral observation, performance analytics, and competency demonstration within virtual environments. These innovative assessment strategies provide more authentic evaluation of student capabilities while creating detailed learning analytics that the teacher training requirements for effective virtual reality integration in education demand comprehensive professional development programs that address both technical competencies and pedagogical strategies for immersive learning environments. Educators must develop skills in virtual environment navigation, student guidance in digital spaces, troubleshooting technical issues, and designing learning experiences that leverage the unique capabilities of virtual reality. The economic considerations of implementing virtual reality in educational institutions include initial hardware investments, ongoing maintenance costs, content development expenses, and staff training requirements that must be balanced against potential benefits such as reduced field trip costs, enhanced learning outcomes, and improved student engagement. These cost-benefit analyses inform institutional decision-making while demonstrating the psychological safety considerations in virtual reality education address potential negative effects such as motion sickness, disorientation, or psychological discomfort that some students may experience during a switch. Educational institutions must develop protocols for monitoring student well-being, providing alternative learning options, and ensuring that virtual reality experiences enhance rather. The content development challenges for educational virtual reality require collaboration between subject matter experts, instructional designers, and technology specialists to create accurate, engaging, and pedagogically sound virtual experiences that align with curriculum standards while leveraging the unique capabilities of immersive technology. These interdisciplinary development. The ethical implications of virtual reality in education include concerns about data privacy, student surveillance, digital equity, and the potential for virtual experiences to replace rather than supplement real-world learning opportunities. Educational policymakers and technology developers must address these ethical considerations while ensuring that virtual reality enhances educational access and quality. The research opportunities presented by virtual reality in education enable large-scale studies of learning effectiveness, student engagement, and cognitive development that would be impossible with traditional educational methods. Researchers can collect detailed behavioral data, track learning progression, and analyze interaction patterns to develop evidence-based best practices for immersive education while contributing to fundamental understanding of how humans learn. The international collaboration possibilities in virtual reality education enable students and educators from different countries to participate in shared learning experiences, cultural exchanges, and collaborative research projects that promote global understanding and cross-cultural competency. These international virtual programs require careful attention to time zone differences, language barriers, and culture. The sustainability applications of virtual reality in education, support environmental awareness, conservation education, and sustainable development goals through immersive experiences that demonstrate environmental challenges, showcase sustainable practices, and enable virtual exploration of ecosystems without physical impact. The career preparation potential of virtual reality education enables students to explore various professions, practice job-specific skills, and experience workplace environments before making career decisions or entering the job market. These career exploration virtual environments provide realistic previews of different occupations while helping students develop relevant competencies and make informed decisions about their educational and professional path. The social-emotional learning applications of virtual reality in education address interpersonal skills, empathy development, and emotional regulation through carefully designed virtual scenarios that provide safe spaces for practicing social interactions, exploring different perspectives, and developing emotional intelligence. These social-emotional learning experiences. The language learning potential of virtual reality creates immersive cultural context for foreign language acquisition, where students can practice communication skills with native speakers, explore authentic cultural environments, and experience linguistic immersion without international travel. These virtual language learning environments combine linguistic instruction with cultural education while providing immediate feedback. The scientific research applications of virtual reality in education enable students to participate in virtual laboratory experiments, explore molecular structures, observe astronomical phenomena, and manipulate variables in controlled digital environments that would be impossible or dangerous in physical laboratories. These virtual scientific experiences provide hands-on learning opportunities while ensuring safety and enabling repeated experimentation. The sociological implications of widespread virtual reality adoption reveal fundamental shifts in how communities form, maintain social cohesion, and navigate collective decision-making processes across digital and physical realms. As virtual environments become increasingly sophisticated and accessible, traditional concepts of neighborhood, citizenship, and civic engagement undergo significant transformation, creating new forms of social organization that challenge established governance structures and community-building practices while offering opportunities for more inclusive and geographically diverse social participation. The psychological resilience implications of virtual reality experiences demonstrate both protective and potentially harmful effects on mental health, depending on implementation context, usage patterns, and individual vulnerability factors. Research indicates that carefully designed virtual environments can serve as effective tools for stress management, anxiety reduction, and emotional regulation through controlled exposure therapy and immersive relaxation experiences, while excessive or inappropriate virtual reality use may contribute to reality dissociation, social withdrawal, and dependency behaviors that require clinical attention and interventions. The cultural transmission mechanisms within virtual environments enable new forms of knowledge preservation, cultural education, and intergenerational communication that supplement traditional methods of cultural continuity while creating hybrid cultural expressions that blend digital innovation with ancestral wisdom. Indigenous communities, immigrant populations, and diaspora groups utilize virtual reality platforms to maintain cultural connections, teach traditional practices, and create shared cultural experiences that transcend geographical barriers while preserving authentic cultural elements within technologically mediated formats. The economic redistribution potential of virtual reality technologies creates opportunities for income generation, skill development, and market access that bypass traditional economic gatekeepers while potentially exacerbating existing inequalities if access remains limited to privileged populations. Remote work applications, virtual service delivery, and digital marketplace participation through virtual reality platforms can provide economic opportunities for individuals in underserved regions while requiring significant investment in infrastructure, education, and technology access to ensure equitable participation in virtual economy. The therapeutic applications of virtual reality in addressing social isolation, particularly among elderly populations, demonstrate significant potential for maintaining social connections, cognitive stimulation, and emotional well-being through immersive social experiences that compensate for physical limitations or geographical constraints. These therapeutic virtual environments must be carefully designed to support rather than replace human interaction, while providing meaningful social engagement opportunities that enhance quality of life for vulnerable populations who may otherwise experience social disconnection and loneliness. The privacy implications of immersive virtual environments trend far beyond traditional digital privacy concerns to include biometric data collection, behavioral pattern analysis, and intimate. The immersive nature of virtual reality enables unprecedented surveillance capabilities that can monitor eye movements, emotional responses, social interaction patterns, and physical behaviors, creating detailed psychological profiles that raise significant concerns about consent, data ownership, and potential misuse by corporations or governmental entities. The educational equity implications of virtual reality integration in learning environments require careful attention to access disparities, technological literacy requirements, and cultural appropriateness of virtual learning experiences across diverse student populations. While virtual reality can provide enhanced educational opportunities and immersive learning experiences, implementation must address digital divide issues, ensure culturally responsive content design, and provide alternative learning modalities for students who may not benefit from or have access to virtual reality technologies. The environmental consciousness applications of virtual reality demonstrate potential for promoting sustainable behaviors, environmental education, and conservation awareness through immersive experiences that connect individuals with natural environments and ecological processes they might not otherwise encounter. The democratic participation possibilities within virtual reality platforms create new opportunities for civic engagement, public consultation, and collaborative governance that can enhance democratic processes, while raising concerns about digital manipulation, authenticity verification, and equitable representation in virtual political spaces. These democratic virtual environments require careful design to ensure inclusive participation, prevent digital divide exclusions, and maintain the integrity of democratic decision-making processes while leveraging technology to enhance rather than replace traditional civic engagement mechanisms. The identity formation implications of avatar embodiment and virtual self-representation affect personal development, self-concept, and social identity construction. Research into avatar identification, virtual identity experimentation, and digital self-presentation reveals complex relationships between virtual and real-world identity development that influence confidence, social skills, and personal growth, while raising questions about authenticity and psychological well-being in increasingly digital social environments. The community resilience applications of virtual reality technology enable disaster preparedness training, emergency response coordination, and community support systems that enhance collective capacity to respond to crises while maintaining social connections during physical isolation periods. These resilience-focused virtual environments can simulate emergency scenarios, provide remote coordination platforms, and make the intergenerational interaction possibilities within virtual reality environments create opportunities for age-integrated social experiences, knowledge sharing, and mutual support that bridge generational divides while addressing age segregation in many contemporary societies. These intergenerational virtual programs can facilitate mentorship relationships, cultural knowledge transfer, and social support networks that benefit both younger and older participants, while creating more age-inclusive social environments that leverage the unique strengths and perspectives of different age groups. The cross-cultural communication applications of virtual reality technology enable immersive cultural exchange experiences, language learning opportunities, and international collaboration projects that promote global understanding while respecting cultural differences and avoiding cultural appropriation. These cross-cultural virtual environments require careful attention to cultural sensitivity, authentic representation, and meaningful exchange rather than superficial cultural tourism, creating opportunities for genuine. The social skill development potential of virtual reality environments provides safe spaces for practicing interpersonal communication, conflict resolution, and social interaction skills for individuals who may struggle with social anxiety, autism spectrum conditions, or other challenges that affect social functioning. These skill development virtual environments can provide graduated exposure, immediate feedback, and repeated practice opportunities while maintaining safety and reducing social pressure that might interfere with learning and skill acquisition in real-world social situations. The workplace transformation implications of virtual reality adoption affect organization, Combinational culture, team collaboration, and distributed teams become increasingly common. These workplace virtual environments must balance technological capabilities with human needs for meaningful professional relationships, effective collaboration, and organizational culture maintenance, while addressing concerns about digital fatigue, work-life balance, and equitable participation across different technological comfort levels and access capabilities. The social movement mobilization potential of virtual reality platforms creates new opportunities for activism, awareness raising, and collective action that can transcend geographical boundaries, while raising concerns about digital surveillance, platform control, and the authenticity of virtual activism compared to physical protest and community organizing. These activist virtual environments require careful consideration of security, privacy, and effectiveness, while exploring how immersive technology can enhance, rather than replace, traditional forms of social movement organizing and political engagement.